You know, every single one of us has a daily life. And we get up in the morning and we go to work or whatever it is that we do. And then, oh my gosh, I got to put gas in the car and I got to stop at the grocery store, whatever it is you have to do that day. And then the day's over and you go to bed and you do it again the next day. And somehow in that mix, even if it's just going into your backyard and appreciating the flowers that are there and the butterflies that are on those flowers and recognizing that you are part of this much larger thing that needs your assistance. If everybody would just even put a butterfly garden in their backyard, that would make a huge impact.
You know, starting out from taking a shower in the morning, having clean water to brush your teeth, to having something to eat for breakfast, all of that depends on being able to understand how to manage resources, how to manage our global system.
We've got one of the best centers in the world related to ecology. It's right here at the University of Missouri St. Louis, and it probably is the epitome of partnerships, of how you can take an academic institution, interface with other entities, in our case the zoo and the garden, and other universities, to get something that's more powerful than the simple linear sum of the parts.
The Harris Center is a wonderful fulcrum to get everybody together to collaborate, as from the garden and as from the zoo, and it has led to many fruitful research collaborations and, of course, an endless number of teaching collaborations that have been of great benefit to all three institutions and to the area as a whole.
There's a tremendous model there for universities, for zoos, and for gardens to work together. You start to use that collaboration to get other collaborations going on the ground, to get other joint projects going on the ground.
We have a worldwide network now. We have had more than 275 graduates with master's degrees or PhDs who have come from 38 different countries.
And they've gone back to their own countries and become leaders in biodiversity and in research and in conservation.
The idea was to protect biodiversity, to raise awareness of issues like climate change, and to get students then trained here in the United States at the University of Missouri St. Louis, then to go back to their home countries and provide that expertise.
But there's also a mission component. We're sending back incredibly versatile, incredibly well-educated students that make a difference in their home country, but also make it easier for us to do our conservation work because we can do it collaboratively.
The zoo has conservation programs that are around the world. 3 are here in Missouri, but most of them are international. And our students can come from those programs and build their master's thesis or their doctoral dissertation on work associated with the zoo. Fidisola Rasamba Inarivo graduated with his PhD, and he is from Madagascar and then came here for his PhD. He studied what kind of threats do dogs and cats pose as disease vectors to the endemic carnivores of Madagascar. And it turns out quite a big threat. And he is now going to go back to Madagascar and set up a disease testing lab so that if there is a disease outbreak in Madagascar, he can get an immediate response and test the samples from the disease outbreak to understand what the threat is and mount a much more effective intervention.
I'm very lucky and fortunate to have had the opportunity to join this lab and the university thanks to the Harris World Ecology Center. But I know that for every student, there's at least 100 do not have this opportunity. So by having a laboratory in Madagascar where we could do conservation research and molecular work, those students may have the opportunity to gain these practices.
I was always very keen to get students in from Papua New Guinea, and the most recent one is Samoa Assegal, who has just graduated from Dr. Parker's lab with her PhD. And there are very few Papua New Guineans with a PhD, so it's absolutely remarkable, A, that she's a Papua New Guinean, and B, that, of course, that she's a woman.
So I'm very much interested in research, and I still want to pursue the path of avian malaria research. I'm hoping to actually replicate what we've done in Galapagos and take that back into Papua New Guinea or many of the South Pacific islands there. I believe in capacity building. I believe in training the next generation. I believe that knowledge should be shared.
It's team efforts. I mean, that's really the way science is conducted. There's very few areas of science where someone goes up in the hills somewhere and creates the theory of relativity and then comes back. That's, maybe that happened, 80 years ago, but it doesn't happen now. And within this program, the students get to interface not only with the faculty and the scientists at the garden or the zoo, but with their other colleagues.
I think it's important to establish this foundational information that we need for conservation, but also to motivate the public to care about it.
To make an impact on biodiversity conservation, that is saving nature, put simply, we need for everybody to care. And everybody doesn't care. And I think that's individually what all our students are trying to accomplish. So we're trying to expand our training program to add curriculum elements from economics and from political science and from languages, so that we can train our students to not only do this science, but how to translate that science into an economic argument. Why is it important to save this animal?
It's easy for any one of us to work in our botanical or zoological institutions or in our what people might perceive as academic ivory towers. And the centre gives us the opportunity to work in partnerships across disciplines with the skills to understand research and to undertake it, but also with the practical skills to be able to go out and change the situation.
What we do best is to train students to become conservation leaders, to become really good scientists, but also be really good at promoting their science and being able to communicate the impacts of their science on how we manage the world in a sustainable manner. I think that is our product right now. And I think that's, if we keep self-promoting in that way, I think we'll continue to be a winner.
Well, I'm proud of it because it's making people more aware, because we're not going in a good direction. So the only way it's going to be saved and the plants that we have are going to survive is if we are helping conserve.
I think everybody needs to take action in small ways in their own lives. So that's a message that I think we're trying to get out, is that each individual can have an impact.
Conservation around the world starts at the Harris Center.
Konservasi di seluruh dunia dimulai dari Harris Center.
Fiarovana tutulien miranzo tutso de menunque tão Harris Center.
Conservação ao redor do mundo começa aqui, no Harris Center.
Harris Center igual paz bilon lukauti Mama Ground.
La conservación alrededor del mundo comienza en el Harris Center.
全球有世界保護從 Harris Center 開始。
La conservation de la biodiversité autour du monde commence au Harris Center.
Konservasi insain dengan dunia diwiwiti in Harris Center.